Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing amazing. My name is Courtney, also known as She Traveled the World, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is a little bit different to the travel content that I usually post, but I think it might be helpful for some of you guys, and that is about my skin and how I cleared my skin up and just all the problems I've had with my skin over the years. So I started getting bad skin when I was like 14 or 15. It was mainly on my chin and my forehead. I wasn't really too concerned about it at that point, but by the time I got to 16 or 17 and other girls in my year started clearing their skin up with either like going on the pill or just naturally their skin cleared up, I started getting quite self-conscious. So I went to the doctor and she put me on doxycycline, which is an antibiotic that they use for lots of different things, acne being one of them, but they also use it for like malaria and other things like that. So I went on doxycycline. It ended up helping my skin quite a lot. It was also great because I went to India and I needed to be on doxycycline anyway, so that was all good. Between the ages of 18 and 19, my skin was pretty clear. It was much clearer than it was in school. I had hormonal acne from like periods and stuff, but it wasn't anything too severe. So in 2018, when I spent the summer in Croatia, was when my skin started getting really bad again. So I was getting acne, and on top of that, I was getting this weird rash thing on my face, and it was like flaky and red and really sore, and it was mainly on my chin, so it was around here, and every time I spoke it would crack, and so it just wouldn't heal. So I was in Pula, which is in like the north of Croatia, and I went to the pharmacist and I was like what is this? And she was like, oh, I don't really know what it is, but I'll give you this steroid cream to put on it so it helps heal it. So for around 6 months I was getting these weird rashes and also using the steroid cream, and I was just sick of it. It was pissing me off. I couldn't tell if it was something I was eating or if it was something in the air that was agitating it or something I was putting on my skin. So these rashes kept coming and going for at least 6 months. I was dealing with acne as well. My self-confidence was horrible, and at this point I was going to New Zealand for 4 months. Got to New Zealand and my skin just had a meltdown. It had never been worse. I had dark pigmentation from old acne. I was getting new acne. I had this rash that I didn't know what was happening with it. And a couple weeks into the trip, I was in Wanaka and I was like, I need to go to the doctor, because it got to the point where I didn't even want to speak to anyone anymore. I was so self-conscious and just so uncomfortable with meeting new people, because I was like, they're just looking at my face and they're looking at all the horrible things that are on it. I'll insert some videos and some photos of me speaking about my acne in New Zealand, and I feel really sad watching it because you can tell that my confidence is just so low, and it was just horrible. Good morning everyone. Firstly, please ignore my skin. It's having a meltdown at the moment. Secondly, I'm on another adventure with Stray. Oh, there's my Stray bus behind me. Alright, so I thought I'd do an eye update. This is all bruised down here. I realised I've also bruised up here as well. So I've been doing research and I had determined that the rashes on my face were contact dermatitis, which is basically a type of eczema that happens when your skin comes in contact with something that irritates it. And I still didn't know what was irritating it, but at least I knew what it was. So I went to the doctor and I was like, I think this is what I have. And he was just the most horrible person. He was like, no, this is just acne. I was like, it's not. Like, I've had acne, it's not acne. Anyway, he put me back on he put me back on doxycycline. This time around, the doxycycline did not work. I still had horrible acne, and for some reason it was making me angry, upset. My hormones were all over the place. I cried constantly, and I'm not really a person who cries a lot. So after 2 months of being on doxycycline, I stopped taking it. It didn't help my skin this time round. It was making me sadder than ever, and it just wasn't worth it for me. So I stopped taking it, and my skin just hadn't cleared up. On the bright side, I did find out what was causing the contact dermatitis, and it was tea tree oil. So I stopped using anything with tea tree in it. I haven't used anything with tea tree in it since, because I'm so scared of it happening again. But at least I realized what was happening, so I stopped that, and then the rashes just stopped, thank God. So I got back to the UK in April 2019, and I was left with these really dark hyperpigmentation spots from all the acne I'd had while I had been in New Zealand. I wasn't getting new acne at this point, and I think my body appreciated me not drinking a lot. So that was a perk, but I still had a lot of darkness on my face. Over time, over like 3 months, it kind of lightened a little bit. And then I went traveling again. So I went to Budapest and I spent 2.5 months in Budapest, and my skin just flared up like nothing else. Drinking wine every day just ruined it, ruined all the progress I'd made. So I got back from Budapest in October 2019, and my hyperpigmentation had never been worse. My skin had never been worse. I was caking on makeup as soon as I woke up to try and make people think that I didn't have acne when I obviously did. So this lighting, I'm so sorry about this light. I'm just gonna move here for the time being because otherwise it's very bright. So I went to the doctor and I was like, look, I don't really want to be taking stuff. I took doxycycline and it really didn't help me. And this is when I'm gonna start talking about like the products that actually helped. And she was like, look, I'll give you this cream. If it doesn't work, then we can revise doing something else with you. I was like, okay, great. And the cream is Duac. I think Duac. I'll insert a photo here. And it's the game changer that really, really helped me. So it's benzoyl peroxide, which you can find in a lot of different products, but this one is strong. It's really helpful. You just put it on your acne every night before you go to bed. The one downside, it does dry out your skin a lot, and I did notice my skin would kind of like, not flake, but like it was a lot drier than it wouldn't usually be. So every night for 3 months I put it on my skin, and I could see such a big difference in how my skin was looking. The pigmentation was lifting and I wasn't getting new pimples anymore. It was just getting rid of the old dark pimples. So benzoyl peroxide Duac I got prescribed to me, but you can buy it over the counter in the UK. I think it's like £9, so it's really not expensive, but it was such a game changer. And then to help with the darkness and to help moisturize my skin, I was using bio oil, which I think most people already have. That really, really helped. It helped when I hit my head in the beginning of last year as well. I don't really like taking prescription pills, so having a cream instead for me was really important, and I'm really glad that I got that, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it to all my friends, and one of my friends actually started using it and she said it's so good for her as well. I just have to make a disclaimer that this is something that worked for me. I can't talk for everyone. Everyone's got different skin types, but it's something to look into if you are suffering with acne, and it really, really helped me. Some other things that helped is I stopped using products with a lot of fragrance in them. I noticed my skin would get like agitated if I put them on, so I like the brand Simple Skincare. I find their stuff is really gentle and really light. I still use their moisturizer on the daily and their face wash as well. It's really gentle, simple, and I know CeraVe is also a really good brand, so those two are probably what I would recommend. Another product I started using is this rose toner. I'll pop it up on the screen, and it's really good for when you're getting like new pimples, and it just dries it out and really calms it down. So I really like that one as well. And I also find not drinking alcohol really helps. Obviously if you're traveling it's different, and when I am traveling I will drink, but I notice when I do drink my cheeks especially will start getting pimples, so I try not to. But so that's everything in regards to my skin and what I use on my face. I'm sorry I don't have like a ton of products I can recommend you, but I don't think you should be using a ton of products when you're dealing with acne because your skin's probably gonna be a bit overwhelmed. So I think just a good moisturizer, a good face wash, and I definitely recommend looking into that benzoyl peroxide Duac cream. I'm sure they have different variations of like the same product depending on where you are. I know that's the one that we have in England, but I hope that was helpful and you guys can see my skin journey. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll leave my other socials below. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys very soon.